साक्षी जी, जो ज्ञानवापी मस्जिद पे आज इस एएसआई का सर्वे हो रहा है, उस पर क्या कहना है आपका?
हमें सर्वेरों पर भी विश्वास है, कोर्ट पर भी विश्वास है। ये शर्मविदित है कि हिंदुस्तान की 30 लाख से ज्यादा मठ मंदिरों को तोड़ के मस्जिदों का रूप दिया गया। अब मोदी देश के प्रधानमंत्री हैं, इस देश में दूध का दूध पानी का पानी होने की स्थिति में है, तो सर्वेयर सर्वे करने गए हैं, उसमें हिंदू मुसलमान दोनों पक्षों को सहयोग करना चाहिए। जो भी निर्णय होता है, सर्वेयर जो भी रिपोर्ट देते हैं, वो शालीनता से दोनों को स्वीकार करना चाहिए। मैं ये भी हिंदू भाइयों से भी अपील करूंगा, मुस्लिम भाइयों से अपील करूंगा, कोर्ट पर, संविधान पर, सर्वे पर विश्वास करना ही होगा।
बाबा विश्वनाथ गेट और बदौलिया से लेकर के बाबा विश्वनाथ गेट तक नो व्हीकल जोन बनाया गया है। किसी प्रकार के 4 पहिया 2 पहिया वाहनों का पूर्ण प्रतिबंध है। वहाँ पर पार्किंग की व्यवस्था की गई है, जल बैरिकेटिंग की व्यवस्था की गई है, सब जगह सुरक्षा व्यवस्था लगाई गई है। किसी भी श्रद्धालु को जो जलाभिषेक के लिए जा रहा है, किसी प्रकार की कोई समस्या ना हो। हर जगह जो है जलाभिषेक बहुत अच्छे तरीके से चल रहा है।
बहुत ही गौरवशाली क्षण है हिंदू समाज के लिए, 100 करोड़ हिंदुओं के लिए, सनातन धर्मियों के लिए और मंदिर समर्थकों के लिए। ये 10 बिंदुओं को लेकर के सर्वे होना जा रहा है। यह सर्वे ही ज्ञानवापी समस्या का हल है।
सर्वे शुरू होने जा रहा है। अब हम लोग जा रहे हैं सर्वे, भाई एसआई की टीम करेगी और उसमें सारे साक्ष्य हमारे हैं। ये तो हमें विश्वास है, पूरा जो है पूरा मंदिर का ही परिसर है, इसलिए इसमें कहीं विवाद नहीं है। अब सर्वे हो जाए, एथेंटिक प्रमाणिक ढंग से जो है सर्वे एक संस्थान अपनी कर ली, संस्था जो है भारत सरकार की संस्था है, ये करे, जो प्रमाण आएगा वो हमारे पक्ष में ही आएगा। सारे बिंदुओं पर जो है पूरा जो बैरिकेटिंग का जो परिसर है, सारे बिंदुओं पर अंदर बाहर ऊपर नीचे चारों तरफ जो है सर्वे होना है। अब आपत्ति करें, सर्वे होना है, आपत्ति करें या जो करें वो हाईकोर्ट जाए, सुप्रीम कोर्ट जाए।
Crossing over to our correspondent Ananya Bhatnagar, who tracks the Supreme Court. Ananya, so the Muslim side has moved the Supreme Court against the Allahabad High Court's order. Could you tell us what are the arguments that the Muslim side is making against the High Court's order?
Well, we'll have to wait and watch for that at the Supreme Court of India. The mentioning has to begin at around 10:30 a.m. in the morning. Though the application has not been shared by, in fact, the Muslim side, what we've been told is that they're seeking a stay on this particular ASI survey that is taking place. However, as we spoke to Vishnu Shankar Jain, who's the lawyer for the Hindu side, he says that he himself has not received a copy of this particular petition. And in fact, such a stay cannot be granted because it is not coinciding with the earlier orders of the topmost court of the country with regards to the Wazukhana. Now, how will the survey actually go on is that, 2 types of exercises would be carried out by the ASI. Number one is the GPR, that is the ground penetrating radar. As I earlier pointed out to you that, the ground will be penetrated through electromagnetic waves, and then it would be seen as to something is beneath that ground or not. Now, the second technique is of dating exercise. Now, dating exercise can be carried out in 2 ways. One is the absolute dating and one is relative dating. Now, in absolute dating, the exact age of a particular structure through, methods like carbon dating, through methods like phosphorus dating would actually be used in order to check and to see the decay of the carbon inside a particular matter, to check as to what is the age of that particular structure. While in the case of relative dating, the same the aging would be compared to, if at all the pillar is being dated, it will be compared to the other parts of the mosque in order to see as to whether they belong to a same period or whether these pillars existed pre this mosque was built, or pre Aurangzeb era as claimed by in fact the Hindu side, to show that it was a temple or not, and that would actually determine actually as to what was that particular structure, whether it was built on the remains of a temple after destructing a temple, or was it actually a mosque that was built by Aurangzeb on a barren land. So all of this has to be seen, but more importantly, remember that 2 major areas are there. One is the central dome, which the Hindu side claims that there is a hollow sound that comes, and the artificial construction is being used in order to prevent to see as to artificial construction is being used to in fact see where it is being hidden, the Hindu artifacts are being hidden. Now other part is the western wall where engravings are there. In fact, on the northern and southern part of this particular mosque also there are engravings which show mantras, Vedic mantras are there engraved on it, and the Hindu side claims that since all of these facts emerged that this is a temple and it was Aurangzeb who had destroyed this particular temple and then built a mosque over it. The Muslim side claims on the contrary of it. How well does it play up before the Supreme Court of India is also a question that will be answered in a few minutes from now. But what is more important is that Justice Suryakant and Justice P.S. Narasimha are not sitting today, and this was a bench headed by the Chief Justice of India along with these two judges, which was actually hearing the Gyanvapi matter. So whether or not the Supreme Court would be constituting a new bench to hear this aspect of the case or not, or would the Supreme Court say that we cannot hear this matter until the two judges are actually back, or whether interim stay on this particular survey is done. All of these questions would be answered at around 10:30 when the bench headed by the Chief Justice of India, Dr. Justice Dhananjay Yashwant Chanchur, actually sits and urgent mentioning is made before it by the Muslim sides. We'll have to wait and watch for that. However, the survey continues, and until there is an order from the Supreme Court that would continue, and we might see that something comes out of it, or but it is a lengthy exercise that can carry on for days. So we'll have to wait and watch for that. But at the same point of time, fireworks expected at the topmost of the